Hey everyone, welcome back to another Daclus quality review. This is my New Year's resolution to see every single movie that comes out in my theater and record a little video sitting in my car after watching it and just talk about the movie, give it a quick review. Today I just saw Norm of the North, which is definitely the worst movie I've seen since doing this. I mean, it's a kids movie, but at the same time, Inside Out was a kids movie. There are a lot of great kids movies. This is not one of them. This is just a terrible movie. You should not take your kids to see this. Don't put them through that. Don't put yourself through that. Even at home, it's not a great movie to just put on. It's not one of those movies where the kids, you just throw something on while you're doing stuff just to keep them occupied. Don't do that. You don't want them to grow up with this in their heads. I mean, it's just so the jokes are cheap and they're not even funny. A lot of them don't make. There's some that just don't make sense. It's just so terrible. They're not funny. They're not jokes. They're just there, and I don't. Oh, this movie made no sense. There's there's so much it just doesn't make sense about the story. They say nonsense. One of the big sort of themes, I mean, there's a big theme of, preserving the Arctic and all that, which, I mean, it's a good theme, but at the same time, it doesn't matter if the movie's terrible. The movie's terrible, so even though there's a good, okay, I like that theme, that works for me, but the movie doesn't work for me at all, and it actually didn't. The theme connectivity was weird, and it didn't entirely fit with the story. It was terrible. Plus, there was this thing with, one of the big things they kept saying, bringing up was, a king always fights for his home. That's one of the big things of this. It's like, who is this appealing to? Who's this king? You're appealing to kings with this movie? No kid will go, oh yeah, that appeals to me. I'm gonna fight for my home because I'm a king. I don't, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. It didn't make any sense. I'm gonna give part of the plot away at the end, spoilers, but, okay, so, he's with his grandpa and all this, and, he was missing for a long time, and so Norm finds him, and they're escaping, and they're trying to get back home and all this, and they, fall in the water, and Norm just wakes up back home, and he's like, oh, I have to find Grandpa, and the other, polar bears and all this stuff, they didn't know that he had even found his grandpa or anything. The guy had disappeared, and the Norm finds him when he travels to the city and all this, but he comes back, and he asks this, and they're like, oh, we looked everywhere, we couldn't find him. It's like, why did you look everywhere? You didn't know. You had no idea he was gone. It's bullshit. And there's just so much. I mean, I guess I would almost say that the best thing was the animation, but there's some weird stuff in there too. I think they were trying to go for, look, we can animate things. It's realistic or something. I don't know, but it's so much weird animation. It took me a while, but I know I started to notice, at least with the main character. It happened a few times with other characters, but I mean, not the main character. The main character is Volbreb, the main female character. Her boobs had a separate jiggle. She had her breast jiggled a little bit, and it happened all the time when little movements. And even at the beginning when they're in there, she's wearing a coat, a big Arctic coat, and there's some jigglage, and it's why is that? I mean, it's also the hourglass body of up chest is sort of, well, the chest is actually they have size boobs, but the waist is tiny, and then but their hips are massive. They're the size of the head, and the head is huge. In normal, I have a tiny head. My head is smaller than my hips, are smaller than my hips, I think. But in this, it's the heads are huge, and the hips are as big as that head. That's big, and I just don't. I mean, they're actually different sized body women in this, and men and stuff. They're different sized bodies, so that works. But it was weird, and it just didn't. I don't. Why? Why did this get made? Why did it... I mean, I could see it, okay, it gets made and it goes direct to TV, DVD, or whatever. But no. I don't understand. It's Rob Schneider, and Rob Schneider's terrible. Okay, here's the thing. I was in the theater, and the only people in there with me were two other older guys. I'm pretty sure one walked out during it. I didn't notice. I might have been falling asleep. But one guy, I didn't see him when I was leaving. The other guy stayed the entire time. I don't know why. I don't know why these older dudes are in there. I mean, I can't judge because I was in there, but I'm doing that for this. I don't know what they're doing it for, just cause. But I'm not gonna judge them unless they're Rob Snyder fans or other things. But I don't know. And also, they're like some little kids or something. Probably they bought a ticket for this and they're sneaking into an R-rated movie or something because they left before the movie started. But God. This movie was terrible. Don't see it. Save yourselves. Oh god, there's so much. There's so much to even say. I mean, this tests the New Year's resolution of watching all these movies. This movie did because I lost. I almost like fell asleep. I felt like I did because I feel like I missed something, but I didn't. Like I was like, oh wait, what happened with the plot there? It doesn't matter. The plot doesn't make sense. I actually don't know how it was resolved. I don't know how any of it really was resolved. It just kind of happened. Like they did stuff apparently, and that resolved it. And they could have basically done that from the beginning, I feel like, at least from earlier in the film. I don't know why. I felt like it was even longer than it needed to be, and it was pretty short, actually. I don't understand this movie. I don't understand why it got made. I don't understand who. I don't. Anyway, I think that's enough. You can check out, I'm going to be talking about this maybe a little bit more, probably not much. I'll do a quick snippet on Big Ben's movie show. I'll put links in the bottom. It'll take a while for the episode with this one on it to get up, but I might be on that every once in a while. You can check out other reviews for other shows, longer reviews. Other movies. And you just follow me on Twitter at Daclus. It's in the title. Actually, right now, I'm not at Daclus. I'm still at Daclus. On Twitter, Daclus. Sorry about that whole thing. Never mind. It means nothing. Just ignore what I said. Right now. You get it. I just thought Norm of the North. But, so follow me on Twitter, at Daclus, you got it. Follow Geek Wars Podcast on Twitter, at Geek Wars Podcast. You can listen to us on iTunes, Geek Wars Podcast. On Podbean, you can find us there, our podcast. Basically, we talk about geeky things and stuff. Just all sorts of things. Movies, TV, comic books, video games every once in a while. And, I think that's about it, right? I'm great at closing these videos. You may have noticed. Anyway, I think that's all. I'm going to be watching tomorrow. I'm going to watch Spotlight early in the morning. So when my theater opens at like 11 something. So it's not that early. But I'll be watching that tomorrow. And, I'll see you next time. Next week is what? Dirty Grandpa, The Boy, and a different movie that I don't remember. But it'll be up there. There are 3 movies. What is the other movie? I don't know. Doesn't matter. It'll be up. Just watch, subscribe, like, comment, do all that stuff. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye then.